tutorial today. I'm going to be showing you in this tutorial a few things to do with tension and holding the yarn. Alright, there is a series of amigurumi tips tutorials, so please check them all out if you are having a little bit of trouble, and it will just guide you through and help you through making your little figures or whatever you want to do. Alright, so let's get started. So today I'm using a DK, which is double knit, and this is a cotton yarn. Okay, so it's 100% cotton, and then I've got a size 3mm hook. All right, so I'm just going to unravel. Okay. And whenever I start using this cotton yarn, all right, because generally I tend to use like chunky acrylic or chunky wool yarn, it is very different to using those thicker yarns. Okay, the first thing that you'll notice is obviously it's thinner. All right, the second thing is that it doesn't have as much stretch, so when you go to pull it, it doesn't have as much stretch or give as you would normally get with like an acrylic type wool. Okay, so to get used to this, I always do a little practice with it, you know, spend maybe 5-10 minutes just feeling the wool and also getting used to what tension that you need, because you will need to adjust your tension. All right, so if you do a little slip knot, I'm just going to attach this onto the hook like so. All right, and the first thing with tension that I find really useful, okay, personally, is to hold it a lot tighter. Okay, you will need to adjust it slightly, and also I do hold it more at the bottom of the chain. All right, so you basically you're stretching it a little bit, pulling your hook up in that chain and then pulling down with your fingers. All right, so you're making it so that loop can't really move. All right, because what you'll notice, if you don't hold it and you just hold in the little tail like you normally would, this stitch gets really tight. Okay, so this will just help you kind of just make sure that they're not tight really. Okay, so I'm going to do yarn over and bring that through. Okay, that's the first one. All right, when you're holding this yarn, make sure that it is tight, all right, and that you're pulling down with these fingers. All right, and that will just help you guide through, and it'll also help with the threading. Okay, if I stop doing this, all right, and then I bring that through, at some point you will catch the threads, because as you can see, it does unravel and untwist, and that's just the nature of the cotton yarn. All right, but if you're holding this and pulling down and then up with your hook, all right, you can then adjust the tension. Okay, so it's all about just taking that little time to practice, do some chains. All right, I'll move my hand up now and just feel how you need to adjust working with this type of yarn. All right, another little tip with amigurumi, they only tend to use double crochet stitches. Okay, so what I like to do is to go back down this chain and do some double crochet. All right, just to get used to finding the little stitches, and you can also do like a couple of rows if you fancied. Okay, so I've just done a random amount of chains here. Okay, so whatever you feel like you want to do, whatever length, and then you want to skip one chain at the top and go into the second chain down. All right, so you want to just go straight into that, into the top part, and then it's yarn over, bring that through. Okay, and then yarn over and bring it through the two. Okay, and you'll start to notice this is where you can begin to thread a lot. Okay, so again, just remember your tension, remember to hold the yarn close to where you're going to be putting those stitches in, and remember this part of your crochet. All right, it will really help with the threading. So we're going to go into the next chain, bring that through, bring it through the two. Okay, so another double crochet. So we're just going to go along this row. Okay, you can also see I'm using my thumb and my second finger to actually hold the yarn just after the stitch I'm going to go in, so my hook is actually touching my finger when it goes through that chain, and then that'll just help guide it through. All right, just take it slow basically. All right, as you can see, right, so this is a little bit of trouble you might get. So this is called threading. All right, because I was talking, wasn't concentrating enough then, but it's a good example for you. So what I've done is I've actually caught the threads in the bottom chain. Okay, so again, you just want to take your hook out, hold that thread in down with your hand, and then pop your hook in, yarn over, and bring it through. Okay, it does require a bit more concentration to begin with. I know you might not be able to watch the telly while you do this. Alright, but you want to make sure you go all the way down those chains. Alright, it's just a little bit of practice for you. And if you want to save your yarn, you can always just undo it afterwards, you know. Okay, so I've got 3 left. Go in. And I will say, the beginning of any amigurumi project is always the trickiest, okay, because it's the smallest point of the project. All right, okay, and that's the end. All right, so that's working in a strip. You can see where it is threaded, it is making a little bit of a bump, but you can always just tuck that in afterwards. All right, so that's a little practice strip you can do. Okay, generally we do work in the round when we're making amigurumi figures or like objects, but in the purposes of practice and getting used to the yarn and tension and holding it and everything like that you need, because it is very different to using acrylic or any other type of wool, I find that this is the best way to have a little practice. Okay, so have fun practicing, and good luck. Bye guys.